Hi, I'm Kyle. We're here in the gutter connected house in annuals. This is where we grow most of our annuals for both locations. It's a 13,000 square foot house, and it's called a gutter house because there's 4 different sections connected with a gutter in between. So we've started just last week planting stuff, things like this vine that came out of the prop house. These are some of the seedlings over here. So those were in the prop house. We probably saw those on an earlier video, but then these were just planted. These were actually planted, I believe, this week, but they've put 5 seedlings in each pot. And then once they're planted, they do clip on the little trellis, similar to what the trellis tomatoes will have on them. Also, one of the other earlier things we do are hanging baskets. These were planted last week, the lantana hanging baskets, one of the very first things we plant here in annuals. So these hanging pots were run through our potting machine, we'll see in just a minute, set out on the table, and these are rolling benches. So if you see, we've got an aisle down here. We have 1 aisle per gutter section, but we can actually move this whole table. It just rolls. So once they're planted, and there's 5 plugs in each of the pots, and they've put their little picture tag on. We do hand water everything at this stage. So once they grow far enough or large enough, they will go and clip on this hanger. It clips onto the pot, and they will put on a little slip lock tag that identifies it with the price and everything. And then they're hung up here, and we have different types of watering systems where they can turn on this whole line, and there'll be an individual little spitter for each one of the hanging pots. Here's what they look like. These are some of the lantanas that have just come in, and it is quite cold out, so these are in insulated boxes. When they come in, they sometimes have to do a little bit of cleanup before they're able to plant them. But that's some of the lantana you can see. For a hanging pot, there were 5 of these in one of those hanging pots. And we will go through, over here we've got calibrachoa. I don't know if these guys are scheduled to be in a hanging pot or not, but they will go through and they will pinch off the flowers by hand, because we're going to try to encourage vegetative growth versus the reproductive growth with the flowers. You may hear the snow or sleet that's starting to fall. Sorry about that. It might get a little bit louder here on the video, but it's starting to fall outside. These are ornamental peppers that we grow as part of the beneficial insect program. So these are used as banker plants. They're then distributed throughout the growing areas, and they have beneficial insects that will stay on them, and then if there's other issues, they will leave that and go to the other plants that they need to. Here's some more of the plants that have come in. These are the Gerbera daisies. That'll be nice and colorful in just a few weeks when they're in their 4-inch pots, but that's what they come in like. And now we're going to slide into the production barn and see some of the filling. So we run our flats through the soil machine to fill them up, and then we shrink wrap and move them out. So we've got a bag of soil that they've just put in the hopper. So our soil comes in a 60 cubic foot bag. And these are the 804s, or 4-packs, that would have things like marigolds or snapdragons out on the sales floor. So they're running these through. Right now they're just filling the machine up with soil. So it takes a few people, they go down the conveyor belt, the soil drops in, and then we wrap them up on another pallet. So that's how we do our pre-filling. Thank you for joining us this week.